I think the management methods and tools reflected in Replicable Leadership 1 are products of the industrial era with the slogan, "Let 80% of people achieve 80 points." So, I often see many employees in service-oriented companies, such as restaurant businesses, reading Replicable Leadership 1 because they need 80% of their people to achieve 80 points. But now the world has undergone so many changes, including my own work with Fandang Reading Club, where I often use tools and methods that aim not for the 80-point standard, but for ways to achieve 120 points or methods that can inspire a 10-fold better result. So, with the opportunities brought by these environmental changes, I started thinking about the topic of Replicable Leadership 2, which is how to make 10% of people achieve 10,000 points. This number sounds daunting because, in the past, we talked about the 80-20 rule, meaning that 20% of employees in a company create 80% of the benefits. However, this distribution may become even more extreme in the future. This concept comes from Taleb's idea of Extremistan and Mediocristan. Mediocristan refers to things that follow a normal distribution, where factors are not related to each other. For example, your weight and my weight are two independent factors with no relation to each other, so they are likely to follow a normal distribution. Our height, weight, and lifespan are examples of this. The characteristic of a normal distribution is that the extremes are rare and the majority is in the middle. This is Mediocristan. In the era of Replicable Leadership 1, we emphasized let 80% of people achieve 80 points, which is a typical normal distribution slogan. However, as the mobile internet continues to empower individuals, have you noticed that one person can now function as a team, create a career via their phone, and even reach millions of people by giving a single talk? This was unthinkable in the past, but as the internet's empowerment grows stronger, according to Taleb, the world is gradually moving into Extremistan. What is Extremistan? For example, if we're sitting in a room full of people, is it possible for one person to come in and increase the average weight of everyone in the room by 10 kilograms? It's basically impossible because weight follows a normal distribution, and it's hard to find a person who weighs 1,000 kilograms. But is it possible for one person to come in and increase the average wealth of everyone in the room by 100 million yuan? That's entirely possible. If a billionaire walks in, the average wealth could instantly increase by 1 billion yuan, because wealth distribution is a typical example of Extremistan. Now, situations that fit the Extremistan distribution are becoming more common. For example, in the past, retail was all about location, efficiency per square meter, and employee efficiency. An insider could estimate your sales just by looking at your store's location and setup. This fits Mediocristan. But now, you might see someone selling products in a live stream, and it doesn't matter where they are. They could sell 100 million yuan worth of products in one night, or even 1 billion yuan. Their annual sales could surpass an entire street in Wangfujing. This is the issue of Extremistan. So what impact does this have on our leadership? In the industrial era, like in the times of Ford or Toyota, we definitely wanted to improve the overall quality of our employees. We hoped that 80% of our people could achieve 80 points, making the company powerful when competing with other companies. But now, as Bill Gates mentioned in the book, The Road Ahead, a great programmer's contribution is greater than that of 10,000 average programmers. In contrast, a great cleaner might only be worth 2 or 3 average cleaners, because no matter how skilled they are, they can't be in multiple places at once. But a great programmer's coding work can be worth that of 10,000 average programmers. Think about it. Can an outstanding content creator outperform 10,000 average content creators? Can an excellent salesperson outperform 10,000 average salespeople? Can a top-notch book editor create books that are worth at least 1,000 average editors? This is all possible. Because the internet has changed how people are empowered, more and more careers and workplaces fit into Extremistan. When we used to run businesses, like when I first started my company, we aimed to give employees reasonable salaries. What does reasonable salary mean? It means you can't set it too high. It shouldn't be much higher than the market rate for similar positions. This resulted in average salaries and saved costs. But now you'll find that this seemingly average cost becomes the highest cost in a company. If you hire a bunch of mediocre people, the value they create is worse. So, in Extremistan, we should lean towards higher salaries. If someone earns $1,000,000 a year, or even tens of millions, as long as their contribution is top-notch and fits Extremistan, this high salary actually brings low costs. This effect will become increasingly apparent because all industries now see situations where one person can be worth 100, 1,000, or even 10,000 others.